Well, today is July the 31st. It's Saturday or the Sabbath. Some people call it the Sabbath. Like Sabado would be in Spanish. But I don't really know how the Gregorian calendar, I know it's written down and it's 7 days a week and it's always consistent. But I don't really know how, Saturday is the Sabbath. But I want to find out a little bit more. And not to say that I can't find it here, but I just was looking online. This is YaHUaH's sword, the book of Yasher, which some say Jasher. And this would be like part of the Dead Sea Scrolls. And I would like to read it. So hopefully I'll be able to read it and get through it without, interruptions or distractions. Number 1, creation. This is the book Yasher of the generations of man whom YaHUaH created upon the earth on the day when YaHUaH made heaven and earth. The creation of Adam and Eve, the fall, birth of Cain and Abel, or Abel, a keeper of sheep, Cain, a tiller of the soil, the quarrel between the brothers and the result, Cain, the first murderer, cursed of YaHUaH. And YaHUaH said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Our, did you notice that? Our, that's kind of plural-like right there. Our likeness. And YaHUaH created man in his own image. YaHUaH formed man from the ground. That would be the dirt, not the ocean. And he blew into his nostrils the breath nefesh, of life, and man became a living soul. Nefesh, endowed with speech. Wow, amazing. He could talk. It wasn't a baby, it was a man. And YaHUaH said, it is not good for man to be alone. I will make unto him a helpmeet. And YaHUaH caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, or Adam, and he slept. And he took away one of his ribs, and he built flesh upon it, and formed it, and brought it to Adam. And Adam awoke from his sleep, and behold, a woman was standing before him. And he said, this is a bone of my bones, and it shall be called woman. For this has been taken from man. And Adam called her name Eve, for she was the mother of all living. And YaHUaH blessed them and called their names Adam and Eve in the day that he created them. I don't know, is that a day like 1,000 years is as a day with man? Or was it the same day? This is from the Dead Sea Scrolls. This is kind of like the second time I've read this. And YaHUaH said, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. And YaHUaH took Adam and his wife, and he placed them in the Garden of Eden. I kind of thought that that's where they were born. I thought they were already there, but maybe he placed them in the Garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And he commanded them and said unto them, from every tree of the garden you may eat, but from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, that's combining, you shall not eat. That's mixing the seed. Good and evil. That's both. You shall not eat. for in the day that you eat thereof, you shall surely die. And when YaHUaH had blessed and commanded them, he went from them. And Adam and his wife dwelt in the garden according to the command which YaHUaH had commanded them. And the serpent which YaHUaH had created with them in the earth, I guess he made him out of the dirt too, came to them to incite them to transgress the command of YaHUaH, which he had commanded them. And the serpent enticed and persuaded the woman to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, by the way. And the woman hearkened to the voice of the serpent, and she transgressed the word of YaHUaH, and took from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and she ate. And she took from it, and gave also to her husband, and he ate. And Adam and his wife transgressed the command of YaHUaH, which he commanded them, and YaHUaH knew it, and his anger was kindled against them, and he cursed them. And YaHUaH drove them that day, wow, from the Garden of Eden to till the ground. Well, did he use any instruments to till the ground? I don't know. His hands, his feet, a stick, from which they were taken. And they went and dwelt at the east of the Garden of Eden. Oh, so they were east of the garden. Oh, okay, east of the Garden of Eden, but they're outside of the garden. Okay, I gotcha. But it says, and they went and dwelt at the east of the Garden of Eden. So there must have been the east part of the Garden of Eden, or outside of the garden to the east. And Adam knew his wife Eve, and she bore 2 sons and 3 daughters. Wow, 5 kids, so she had quintuplets or something? I don't think so. Didn't exactly say 3 daughters in the King James Version. So I'm just assuming that they probably just didn't mention that. And she called the name of the firstborn Cain, saying, I have obtained a man from YaHUaH. And the name of the other she called Abel, for she said, in vanity we came into the earth, and in vanity we shall be taken from it. And the boys grew up, and their father gave them a possession in the land. And Cain was a tiller of the ground, and Abel a keeper of sheep. It didn't say that they were twins. I mean, up here, if it says she bore 2 sons and 3 daughters, that would be 5. Wow, that's a good way of having all those kids at one time. It didn't say that they were quintuplets. It didn't say that they were twins. In the Bible, the regular King James Bible, it just kind of makes it look like Cain was born first. It never said twins. So there is another type of doctrine going around saying that they're twins, and that one came from the serpent and one came from Adam, but I don't believe that. Gross. And the boys grew up, and their father gave them a possession in the land. And Cain was a tiller of the ground, and Abel, a keeper of sheep. And it was at the expiration of a few years that they brought an approximating offering to YaHUaH. And Cain brought from the fruit of the ground, and Abel brought from the firstlings of his flock, from the fat thereof. And YaHUaH turned and inclined to Abel and his offering. And a fire came down from YaHUaH from heaven and consumed it. Wow. And unto Cain his offering, YaHUaH did not turn, and he did not incline to it, for he had brought from the inferior fruit of the ground before YaHUaH. And Cain was jealous against his brother Abel on account of this, and he sought a pretext to slay him. Interesting. Let's scroll this up. And in some time after, Cain and Abel, his brother, went one day into the field to do their work, and they were both in the field, Cain tilling and plowing his ground, and Abel feeding his flock. And the flock passed that part which Cain had plowed in the ground, and it sorely grieved Cain on this account. And Cain approached his brother Abel in anger and said unto him, What is there between me and you, that thou come to dwell and bring thy flock to feed in my land? And Abel answered his brother Cain and said unto him, What is there between me and you, that thou shalt eat the flesh of my flock and clothe thyself with their wool? Oh, that's a good one. And now therefore put off the wool of my sheep, take off your clothes, with which you have clothed yourself, and recompense me for their fruit and flesh, which you have eaten. And when you shall have done this, I will then go from thy land as you have said. He gave him some attitude. And Cain said to his brother Abel, Surely, if I slay you this day, who will require thy blood from me? And Abel answered Cain, saying, Surely YaHUaH, who has made us in the earth, he will avenge my cause, and he will require my blood from you, should you slay me. For YaHUaH is the judge and arbiter, and it is he who will requite man according to his evil, and the wicked man according to the wickedness that they may do upon earth. And now, if you should slay me here, surely YaHUaH knows thy secret views, and will judge you for the evil which you declare to do unto me this day. Wow, he really threatened his brother. Wow. And Cain hastened and rose up and took the iron part of his plowing instrument, with which he suddenly smote his brother, and he slew him. And Cain spilt the blood of his brother Abel upon the earth, and the blood of Abel streamed upon the earth before the flock. Ooh. And after this, Cain repented, having slain his brother. Ooh. And he was sadly grieved. And he wept over him, and it vexed him exceedingly. That's kind of what happens when you have a lot of anger and then you act on it, and then you do something, and then you can't take it back, especially if you kill them. And Cain rose up and dug a hole in the field, wherein he put his brother's body, and he turned the dust over it. Oh, okay, so it's going to cover it up now. Oh, okay. And YaHUaH knew what Cain had done to his brother. Oh. And YaHUaH appeared to Cain and said unto him, Where is Abel, thy brother that was with you? And Cain dissembled and said, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? Oh, he was given attitude. And YaHUaH said unto him, What have you done? The voice of thy brother's blood cries unto me from the ground where you have slain him. Ooh, so he knew. For you have slain your brother and have dissembled before me. I don't know what dissembled means other than take apart before me. And didst imagine in your heart that I saw you not? You didn't think I saw you? You didn't think I knew all your actions? Like, hello, who am I? I am God. I'm all seeing, all knowing. Hello. But you did this thing and did slay your brother for naught, for nothing. And because he spoke rightly to you, oh, that's what I'm saying right there. He told you the truth and spoke rightly to you. And now, therefore, cursed be you from the ground, which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand, and wherein you did bury him. And it shall be when you shall till it, it shall no more give you its strength, as in the beginning. For thorns and thistles shall the ground produce, and you shall be moving and wandering in the earth until the day of your death. Ooh, that's a heavy duty curse, man. That's no good. That doesn't sound good. And at that time, Cain went out from the presence of YaHUaH, from the place where he was, and he went moving and wandering in the land toward the east of Eden, he and all belonging to him. Where did he get his wife from? And Cain knew his wife in those days. That's what I'm just saying. Where did he get his wife? Is that his sister? What's the deal with that? Where's she coming from? And she conceived and bare a son, and he called his name Enoch. Oh, Enoch. Saying, in that time YaHUaH began to give him rest and quiet in the earth. And at that time Cain also began to build a city. Wow. And he built the city, and he called the name of the city Enoch, according to the name of his son. For in those days YaHUaH had given him rest upon the earth. And he did not move about and wander as in the beginning. And Irad was born to Enoch. And Irad begot Meshuyael, and Meshuyael begot Methusael. Oh. Seth is born and Enoch is born. Seth is born. People begin to multiply and become idolatrous. Third part of the earth destroyed. Earth cursed and becomes corrupt through the wickedness of men. Canaan, a wise and righteous king, foretells the flood. Enoch is born. And it was in the 130th year of the life of Adam upon the earth that he again knew his wife. Wow. And she conceived. 130 years. Whoa. And bare a son in his likeness and in his image. Interesting. And she called his name Seth, saying, because YaHUaH has appointed me another seed in the place of Abel, for Cain has slain him. That's kind of a long time to go without having a kid. And 130 years for Adam. Wow. And Seth lived 105 years, and he begat a son. That's a long time. And Seth called the name of his son Enosh, saying, because in that time the sons of men began to multiply. See, they're naming their children after the events that are happening, character and function, and to afflict their souls and hearts by transgressing and rebelling against YaHUaH. And it was in the days of Enosh that the sons of men continued to rebel and transgress against Yahweh, to increase the anger of YaHUaH against the sons of men. And the sons of men went and they served other gods. What would that be? Like doctors, basketball, football stars, movie stars, rock stars, NASA people. And they forgot YaHUaH, who had created them in the earth. Oh. And in those days, the sons of men made images of brass, and iron, wood, and stone, and they bowed down and served them. That's idolatry. And every man made his god, and they bowed down to them. And the sons of men forsook YaHUaH all the days of Enosh and his children. And the anger of YaHUaH was kindled on account of their works and abominations which they did in the earth. Let's see if I could scroll up. And YaHUaH caused the waters of the river Gihon to overwhelm them, and he destroyed and consumed them. And he destroyed the third part of the earth. Wow. 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 This is interesting. Huh. And notwithstanding this, the sons of men did not turn from their evil ways, and their hands were yet extended to do evil in the sight of Yahweh. And in those days, there was neither sowing nor reaping in the earth, and there was no food for the sons of men, and the famine was very great in those days. And the seed which they sowed in those days in the ground became thorns, thistles, and briars. For from the days of Adam was this declaration concerning the earth of the curse of Yahweh, which he cursed the earth on account of the sin which Adam sinned before YaHUaH. And it was when men continued to rebel and transgress against YaHUaH and to corrupt their ways that the earth also became corrupt. And Enosh lived 90 years and he begot Canaan. Cain was the other guy, that's Canaan. And Canaan grew up and he was 40 years old and he became wise and had knowledge and skill and all wisdom. And he reigned over all the sons of men. And he led the sons of men to wisdom and knowledge. For Canaan was a very wise man and had understanding in all wisdom. And with his wisdom, he ruled over spirits and demons. Interesting. Wow, that's cool. And Canaan knew by his wisdom that YaHUaH would destroy the sons of men for having sinned upon earth, and that YaHUaH would in the latter days bring upon them the waters of the flood. And in those days Canaan wrote upon the tablets of stone what was to take place in time to come, and he put them in his treasures. And Canaan reigned over the whole earth. And he turned some of the sons of men to the service of YaHUaH. 15. And when Canaan was 70 years old, he begat 3 sons and 2 daughters. 70 years old. And these are the names of the children of Canaan. The name of the firstborn, Malalel, the second Enon, the third Mered, and their sisters were Adah and Zillah. These are the 5 children of Canaan that were born to him. And Lamech, the son of Methusael, became related to Canaan by marriage, and he took his 2 daughters for his wives. Oh, wait. And Lamech, the son of Methusael, became related to Canaan by marriage, and he, Lamech, took his 2 daughters for his wives. What? And Lamech, the son of Methusael, Lamech became related to Canaan by marriage. Oh. And he took Canaan's 2 daughters to be his wives. Okay, that sounds better. And Adah, conceived and bare a son to Lamech, and she called his name Jabal. And she again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Jubal. That sounds a little bit like Jabal, Jabal, and Jubal. And Zillah, her sister, was barren in those days and had no offspring. Interesting. Wow. For in those days the sons of men began to trespass against YaHUaH and to transgress the commandments which he had commanded to Adam, to be fruitful and multiply in the earth. Oh, you know what that means. And some of the sons of men caused their wives to drink a draught that would render them barren, in order that they might retain their figures, and whereby their beautiful appearance might not fade. That's terrible. And when the sons of men caused some of their wives to drink, Zillah drank with them. Interesting. And the childbearing women appeared abominable, like the snowman. I was kidding. In the sight of their husbands. Oh, as widows. What? 22. And the childbearing women, that means they were young, appeared abominable in the sight of their husbands as widows. Oh, they must have been all skinny while their husbands lived. For to the barren ones only they were attached. Oh, the childbearing women. Oh, they didn't like the childbearing women because they were like, you're too fat or something like that. Oh, and then they wanted the skinny ones. Oh, okay, I get it. That's interesting. Wow. So the childbearing women appeared abominable in the sight of their husbands as widows, while their husbands lived. Oh. For to the barren ones only they were attached. Oh, I see. That's weird. Yeah. Population reduction right there. And birth control. And in the end of days and years, when Zillah became old, YaHUaH opened her womb. And she conceived and bare a son. And she called his name Tubal-Cain. Hey, I've heard that before. Saying, after I had withered away, have I obtained him from the Almighty YaHUaH? And she conceived again and bare a daughter, and she called her name Naamah. For she said, after I had withered away, I have obtained pleasure and delight. So see how they name their children after an event or something, like its character and function. Like she named her Naamah because after I had withered away, I got old, I've obtained pleasure and delight. That's cool. And Lamech was old and advanced in years, and his eyes were dim that he could not see, and Tubal-Cain his son was leading him. And it was one day that Lamech went into the field, and Tubal-Cain his son was with him. And while they were walking in the field, Cain, the son of Adam, advanced towards them. There's Cain. That's that bad one. For Lamech was very old and could not see much. And Tubal-Cain, his son, was very young. And Tubal-Cain told his father, Dad, draw your bow. And with the arrows, he smote Cain, who was yet far off, and he slew him, for he appeared to them to be an animal. Oh boy. And the arrows entered Cain's body, although he was distant from them, and he fell to the ground and died. Whoops. And YaHUaH requited Cain's evil according to his wickedness, which he had done to his brother Abel, according to the word of YaHUaH, which he had spoken. And it came to pass when Cain had died that Lamech and Tubal went to see the animal which they had slain. He must have looked bad. And they saw, and behold, Cain, their grandfather, was fallen dead upon the earth. Oh, man. And Lamech was very much grieved at having done this. Kid, I can't see very well, and you're telling me to shoot this animal thing, and that was your grandfather? And then clapping his hands together, he struck his son and caused his death. Oh, boy. Shocking. Wow. And the wives of Lamech heard what Lamech had done, and they sought to kill him. You killed my baby? And the wives of Lamech hated him from that day, because he slew Cain and Tubal-Cain. And the wives of Lamech separated from him. Separating from you, and would not hearken to him in those days. I ain't gonna go near you. I'm not gonna listen to you. We're out of here. And Lamech came to his wives, and he pressed them to listen to him about this matter. That kid told me, I can't see, and then he just said it was a animal, and it was an accident. And then I killed my own son because he made me do that. And he said to his wives, Adah and Zillah, hear my voice, O wives of Lamech. Attend to my words, for now you have imagined and said that I slew a man with my wounds, because he can't see, and a child with my stripes, for their having done no violence. But surely know that I am old and gray-headed, and that with my eyes are heavy through age, I did this thing unknowingly. And the wives of Lamech listened to him in this matter, and they returned to him with the advice of their father Adam. Oh. Their father was Adam? Interesting. Oh. I didn't know their father was Adam. Huh. But they bore no children to him from that time, knowing that YaHUaH's anger was increasing in those days against the sons of men, to destroy them with the waters of the flood for their evil doings. And Malalel, the son of Canaan, lived 65 years, and he begat Jared. And Jared lived 62 years, and he begat Enoch. Interesting. Wow. 3. Enoch reigns over the earth. Enoch reigns over the earth. Enoch establishes righteousness upon the earth, and reigning 240 years is translated. And Enoch lived 65 years, and he begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with YaHUaH after having begot Methuselah, and he served YaHUaH and despised the evil ways of men. And the soul of Enoch was wrapped up in the instruction of YaHUaH, in knowledge and in understanding, and he wisely retired from the sons of men and secreted himself from them for many days. And it was at the expiration of many years, while he was serving YaHUaH that, and praying before him in his house, that an heavenly messenger of YaHUaH called to him from heaven and said, Here am I. And he said, Rise, go forth from your house, and from the place where you did hide thyself, and appear to the sons of men, in order that you may teach them the way in which they should go, and the work which they must accomplish to enter in the ways of YaHUaH. That's so cool. Do you ever feel like you're kind of like away from all the people and you were purposely like retiring or getting away from them all? And like, feeling like, I'm by myself stuff here. I kind of feel something right there when I read that about rise and go forth from your house and from that place where you did hide thyself and appear to the sons of men, in order that you may teach them the way in which they should go and the work which they must accomplish to enter in the ways of YaHUaH. That's a really cool thing right there. Enoch 3:4, man. That's awesome. I like feeling that one for me. And Enoch rose up according to the word of YaHUaH. And it's the Sabbath today too. And went forth from his house, from his place, and from the chamber in which he was concealed. And he went to the sons of men and taught them the ways of YaHUaH. And at that time assembled the sons of men and acquainted them with the instruction of YaHUaH. And he ordered it to be proclaimed in all places where the sons of men dwelt, saying, Where is the man who wishes to know the ways of YaHUaH and good works? Let him come to Enoch. And all the sons of men then assembled to him, for all who desired this thing went to Enoch, and Enoch reigned over the sons of men according to the word of YaHUaH, and they came and bowed to him, and they heard his word. And the spirit of YaHUaH was upon Enoch, and he taught all his men the wisdom of YaHUaH and his ways. And the sons of men served YaHUaH all the days of Enoch, and they came to hear his wisdom. And that was Enoch 3:8. And all the kings of the sons of men, both first and last, together with their princes and judges, came to Enoch. And when they heard of his wisdom, and they bowed down to him, and they also required of Enoch to reign over them, to which he consented. And they assembled in all 130 kings and princes. And they made Enoch king, over them. And they were all under his power and command. And Enoch taught them wisdom, knowledge, and the ways of YaHUaH. And he made peace among them, and peace was throughout the earth during the life of Enoch. And Enoch reigned over the sons of men 243 years, and he did justice and righteousness with all his people, and he led them in the ways of YaHUaH. And these are the generations of Enoch: Methuselah, Elisha, and Elimelech, 3 sons. And their sisters were Melka and Naamah. And Methuselah lived 87 years and begat Lamech. And it was in the 56th year of the life of Lamech when Adam died. Oh, that's the first man. 930 30 years old. Whoa. Was he at his death? Wow. That's because he was walking with the Creator in the very beginning. He had all that life in him. Took that long to get rid of all that. Wow, that's amazing. And his two sons, with Enoch and Methuselah, his son, buried him with great pomp. That's amazing. As at the burial of kings. Yeah, he's the first man. He should be. And in the cave of YaHUaH, and had told him, and in that place all the sons of men made a great mourning and weeping on account of Adam. It has therefore become a custom among the sons of men to this day. Wow. And Adam died because he ate of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, by the way. He and his children after him, as YaHUaH the Elohim had spoken. And it was in the year of Adam's death, which was the 243rd year of the reign of Enoch. In that time, Enoch resolved to separate himself from the sons of men and to secret himself as at first in order to serve YaHUaH. And Enoch did so, but did not entirely secret himself from them, but kept away from the sons of men 3 days, and then went to them for 1 day. That's interesting. Oh. And during the 3 days that he was in his chamber, he prayed to and praised YaHUaH his Elohim. And the day on which he went and appeared to his subjects, he taught them the ways of YaHUaH. And all they asked him about YaHUaH, he told them. And he did in this manner for many years. And he afterward concealed himself for 6 days and appeared to his people 1 day in 7. And after that, once in a month, and then once in a year, until all the kings, princes, and sons of men sought for him and desired again to see the face of Enoch and to hear his word. But they could not see, as all the sons of men were greatly afraid of Enoch, and they feared to approach him on account of the magnificent light and awe that was seated upon his countenance. Therefore no man could look at him, fearing he might be punished and die. That would be cool, to be that radiant. That's awesome. And all the kings and princes resolved to assemble the sons of men and to come to Enoch, thinking that they might all speak to him at the time when he should come forth among them. And they did so. And the day came when Enoch went forth, and they all assembled and came to him. And Enoch spoke to them the words of YaHUaH, and he taught them wisdom and knowledge, and they bowed down before him, and they said, "May the king live, may the king live." And in some time after, when the kings and princes and the sons of men were speaking to Enoch, and Enoch was teaching them of the ways of YaHUaH, behold, an heavenly messenger of YaHUaH then called unto Enoch from heaven, and wished to bring him up to heaven, to make him reign there over the sons of YaHUaH, as he had reigned over the sons of men upon the earth. Wow, that's amazing. Wow. When at that time Enoch heard this, he went and assembled all the inhabitants of the earth and taught them wisdom and knowledge and gave them divine instructions. And he said to them, I have been required to ascend into heaven. I therefore do not know the day of my going. And now therefore I will teach you wisdom and knowledge, and will give you instruction before I leave you, how to act upon earth and whereby you may live. And he did so. and he taught them wisdom and knowledge. And will give you instruction. Oh, there. And gave them instruction, and he reproved them, and he placed before them statutes and judgments to do upon earth. And he made peace among them, and he taught them everlasting life, and dwelt with them, sometime teaching them all these things. And at that time the sons of men were with Enoch, and Enoch was speaking to them, and they lifted up their eyes, and the likeness of a great horse descended from heaven. And the horse paced in the air, and they told Enoch what they had seen, and Enoch said to them, on my account does this horse descend upon earth? The time is come when I must go from you, and I shall no more be seen by you. Wow. And the horse descended at that time and stood before Enoch. And all the sons of men that were with Enoch saw him. And Enoch then again ordered a voice to be proclaimed, saying, where is the man who delights to know the ways of YaHUaH his Elohim? Let him come this day to Enoch before he is taken from us. And all the sons of men assembled and came to Enoch that day, and all the kings of the earth with their princes and counselors remained with him that day. And Enoch then taught the sons of men wisdom and knowledge, and gave them divine instruction, and he bade them serve YaHUaH and walk in his ways all the days of their lives, and he continued to make peace among them. And it was after this that he rose up and rode upon the horse, and he went forth, and all the sons of men went after him, about 800,000 men. That's a lot. And they went with him one day's journey. Wow. And the second day he said to them, return home to your tents. Why will you go? Perhaps you may die. And some of them went from him. And those that remained went with him 6 days' journey. And Enoch said to them every day, return to your tents, lest you may die. But they were not willing to return, and they went with him. And on the 6th day, some of the men remained and clung to him, and they said to him, we will go with you to the place where you go, as YaHUaH lives. Death only shall separate us. And they urged him, and they urged so much to go with him that he ceased speaking to them. And they went after him, and he would not return. And when the kings returned, they caused a census to be taken in order to know the number of remaining men that went with Enoch. Wow. And it was upon the 7th day, that's today, that Enoch ascended into heaven in a whirlwind with horses and chariots of fire. Wow. And on the 8th day, all the kings that had been with Enoch sent to bring back the number of men that were with Enoch in that place from which he ascended into heaven. And all those kings went to the place, and they found the earth there filled with snow. And upon the snow were large stones of snow. And one said to the other, come, let us break through the snow and see. Perhaps the men that remained with Enoch are dead and are now under the stones of snow. And they searched but could not find him, for he had ascended into heaven. Wow. We'll stop there, and we'll read more another time. Thanks for listening.